So, why Andamans is a very good point. We are organizing meetings throughout the country on a pan-India basis. This is the vision of the Prime Minister, that he wants the G20 Presidency of India to be a participative process in which everybody feels that this is his presidency. It's not a presidency just of the government. State governments, districts, every person in India is involved with the presidency. Now, Andamans is very important because you recall when the Prime Minister was in Bali for the G20 summit in Indonesia, he said, he told the Indonesian president, we are not 90 miles apart, we are 90 miles close. So that 90 nautical miles is right here, right in Andamans. So this is very symbolic. Andamans is the place which is closest to Indonesia. Indonesia has passed on the baton of the G20 presidency to India. So from here we are taking it forward, and therefore the first meeting, even before we formally begin our presidency, is in the Andamans. We're very happy that we have some 45 heads of missions of G20 countries, international organizations, invitee countries. Very, very good response from the members of the diplomatic corps, and they're here to get a very detailed briefing on our G20 presidency.
Started our journey from Andamans because there are unsung freedom fighters who were imprisoned in the Cellular Jail of India, and therefore we thought it fit that many of our freedom fighters, including Veer Savarkar, who are imprisoned here, we should tell that story to all the foreigners, all the ambassadors, including all the leading international organizations. All our invitees, 42 ambassadors are here. They will get exposed to it. And secondly, the whole story about India's freedom movement will be told to them. And moreover, Indonesia, which held the last presidency, is just 90 square kilometers away. Thirdly, they'll get a feel and flavor of this unique island of Andamans. We will tell them how positive, how forward-looking, how progressive will India's presidency be.
First thing first, officially we are still the president of G20. In 5 days we will pass the presidency of G20. So knock on wood, nothing happened in 5 days before India take over. Secondly, we are so happy that India is taken over from Indonesia, because then we have the same principle and values of continuity in G20, and this is the first time in the history, in 2023, in the history of G20, it will be the first time that Troika consists of Troika from emerging countries, Indonesia, India, and Brazil. So we have a high hope for India's leadership, and we are sure that India can champion the dynamics of global politics, global economy. And our visit in Andaman and Nicobar Island for Indonesia is very important. Whenever I say as ambassador that India is our neighbor, people question, it's so far away. No, it's not. It's very close, because Andaman and Nicobar, from the coast, I think we can see Sumatra, which is part of Indonesia. So we are neighbors. So this visit is very important for Indonesia, and as well as G20 head of missions.
So I would say that, first of all, congratulations to India to take over the chairmanship. It's a great moment, and what comes with this chairmanship is a lot of expectations by the G20 countries, by the world, but I'm very confident that India will manage a very, very good and very fruitful presidency. So that's something where we will see how the next month will unfold, but after having seen what happened in Bali, we are very confident that the Indian side will also come up with a very, very good program, with a very good approach, and I'm very confident that once the summit comes in September, we'll have also a very good statement by the leaders.
How do you see your Andaman visit and to the Cellular Jail as well?
So I think it was a great idea to bring us to the Andamans, because this is a part of India that normally is not as visited as other parts of India, and it is a very, very interesting and very wonderful part of India, beautiful part of India. So I think it was a fabulous idea to bring us here for the first couple of hours. Our impressions were very good. You know, we had this very interesting, historically very interesting visit to the Cellular Jail. We saw the cell of Mr. Savarkar, and we had a good historical guide who explained us everything, and it's very sort of fascinating to see how varied India is when you are here. You wouldn't believe that this is a part of India, but it is a part of this wonderful country, and I think more people should come more often to the Andamans also.
As a Russian ambassador, I would like to congratulate India on assuming presidency in the G20. We will support all the endeavors of India and initiatives in the year to come, and will participate in various programs. I know that the program is very elaborate and very rich, and this visit to the Andaman now illustrates that India would definitely succeed as the president of G20 in the year 2023. I'm for the first time on the Andaman Islands, although I've spent more than 25 years in India altogether. The beautiful land, the rich in culture, rich in nature, and the program that we will have tomorrow, the briefings, the interactive session in which we will participate, I think would be very useful for the ambassadors to participate, for the G20 countries and guest countries, and will outline the goals that India has for the presidency, and I would repeat that Russia is fully supportive of India's presidency, and will participate in earnest in all the endeavors.
I think firstly it's terrific that India is assuming the presidency of the G20, because it's important that the world's major economies take account of those developing countries that have moved into the position of being super economies. India will bring a different perspective to the task of the G20, a perspective that respects, I think, better those developing countries across the world that we need to encourage, we need to support, because they too have potential as much as those established countries. Yeah, look, can I say on the Andamans, this is one of the hidden treasures of India. I've had the pleasure of spending the last couple of days here for work, meeting people, meeting business people, meeting people assisting students to get jobs across India, and I would come back in a heartbeat, because the small fraction that I've seen excites me, and I hope it's not too long in the future before we again see Australian tourists visiting the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, supporting the industry, but seeing the magnificent natural environment that exists here.